Hi everyone! For today you're going to need to tear out pages 499, 501, and 503. We are going to be working on Chapter 8 Review for the test. Number 1. Each shape is divided into equal parts. Select the shapes that show thirds, mark all that apply. So if we know we need thirds, we need to have how many in each? 3. So does this one have 3? 1, 2, 3, 4? No. Does this one have 3? 1, 2, 3. Yes. This one applies. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4? Nope. This one? 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right. Number 2. What fraction names the shaded part of the shape? Well, if this is one whole shape and it is split into how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, we know that we have 8. So what fraction names the shaded part of the shape? Well, 8 is our number in the whole, so that's our denominator. So what's our numerator? How many are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 8, or 6 eighths. 6 eighths. Number 3. Omar shaded a model to show the part of the lawn that he finished mowing. What fraction names the shaded part? Explain how you know how to write the fraction. Well, how many parts are there in one whole? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 parts in the whole, so there are 8 is our denominator. How many are shaded? 1. Our numerator is 1. So, there are 8 equal parts and 1 part is shaded. So, write 1 on top and 8 on bottom. You can pause if you need to in order to go ahead and get that filled in. We'll move on to number 4. Number 4. What fraction names point A on the number line? Okay, well we know that in our whole we have 6 parts, right? Because our denominator is 6. So as a whole, 6/6 is one whole. So if we go to point A, we're just going to go on the number line to the first spot. So if we are going one spot out of 6 spots, that is 1/6. Number 5. Jamal folded this piece of paper into equal parts. Circle the word that makes this sentence true. Okay, so it is one large piece of paper folded into how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the paper is folded into eighths. Number 6. Caleb took 18 photos at the zoo. 1/6 of his photos are of giraffes. How many of Caleb's photos are giraffes? Okay, so we know 1/6 of his photos are giraffes. So we need how many groups in the whole? 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 18 photos within that group of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, how many photos are in each one group? Because we don't know what 1/6 is, so 1/6, how many photos are there? There are 1, 2, 3 photos. Number 7. 3 teachers share 2 packs of paper equally. Okay, well we have our 2 packs of paper, and it needs to be split equally for 3 teachers. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we know that each teacher has this split equally. So there are 1, 2, 3 thirds here and 1, 2, 3 thirds there. So we look here and we know that each teacher gets, there are 3 teachers, and how many pieces are there altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so each teacher, 1, 2, 3 teachers, and they're sharing all of these pieces equally. So each teacher, there's 3 packs, or 3 teachers, 1, 2, 3, and they each get how many? 1, 2. They each get 2 thirds of a pack. Okay, we're going to move on to number 8. Lily shaded this design. Select one number from each column to show the part of the design that Lily shaded. Well, the numerator is the amount shaded. So there are 1, 2, 3. The denominator are the amount of parts shaded in, or amount of parts in the whole as a total. So the denominator is the total number of parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Lily shaded 3/6. Marcus baked a loaf of banana bread for a party. He cut the loaf into equal-sized pieces. At the end of the party, there were 6 pieces left. Explain how you can find the number of pieces in the whole loaf if Marcus told you that 1/3 of the loaf was left. Use a drawing to show your work. Okay, well we know in our whole loaf of bread, we know that we have 1/3 left. So how many groups are there? There are 3 groups. So let's draw our 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit so you can see better. Okay. We know that there were 6 pieces left in 1/3 of the bread. So we know there's 6 pieces left here, and 1/3 of the loaf was left. Okay, so in that one group, there are 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if we know that they were cut into equal-sized pieces, then we know that there are same amount in this group and this group as there were in the group that was left over. So there's 6 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that the denominator is what? The denominator in 1/3 is 3, right? So I drew 3 ovals to show my 3 groups. Then, since 6 pieces are in 1/3 of the loaf, I drew 6 counters in each oval. Then that let me know that 6 counters times the 3 groups equals 18. So there were 18 equal size pieces in the whole loaf. You can pause now if you need to in order to get that copied down, if you'd like. Or to check it. Then we're going to go ahead and move on to page 502. Number 10. The model shows one hole. What fraction of the model is not shaded? Well, how many pieces are in the hole? So this is one whole piece, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 whole piece, or 4 equally shaded, or 4 equal pieces in the hole. So 4 pieces total, so that's our denominator. How many pieces are not shaded? 1, 2. 2 is our numerator. We can also look at this as if the triangle were cut in half. So say we had this half and this half. So then our total number of pieces would be 2. How many halves are not shaded? Just 1. So 1/2 or 2/4. Number 11. Together, Amy and Thea make up 1/4 of the midfielders on the soccer team. How many midfielders are on the team? Show your work. Okay, so if we know they make up 1/4, that there should be 4 parts in the whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parts in the whole. Okay, so if we know that Amy and Thea make up 1 part, then how many midfielders are on the team altogether? Well, if we know that there are 2 in each group, then 2 there, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Well, 2 in each group times 4 groups, 2 times 4 equals 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 12. 6 friends share 4 apples equally. How much apple does each friend get? So 6 friends share 4 apples equally. So we know that there will be 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 pieces times 4. Okay, so we know that there's 24 pieces. And they have to be split between 6 friends. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 friends. Okay, so the apple was cut into 6 pieces, and there are 4 of them. So 4 times 6 equals 24 pieces altogether to be split between 6 friends. So 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So how many people do we have? 6 in the whole, so our denominator is 6. How many in each? How many for each person? 1, 2, 3, 4. So our numerator is 4, our denominator is 6, and it's 4/6. Number 13. Each shape is one whole. So this is one whole. For numbers 13a through e, choose yes or no to show whether the number names the parts that are added or shaded. 13a. 4. Are there 4 whole? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there are 4 whole. 13b. Are there 8 whole? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are no more, so no, there are not 8. How about 8 out of 2? Well, if there are 2 in one whole group, 2 would be our denominator. So if 2 is our denominator, then that could be correct. Do we have 8 pieces that are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we do. That is correct. What about for 13D? 8/4. Are there 4 in a whole? 1, 2. No, there are not. So that cannot be correct. Are there 8 in one whole? No, there are 2 in one whole. So that cannot be correct. All right, we are moving on to page 503. Number 14. Alex has 3 baseballs. He brings 2 baseballs to school. What fraction of his baseballs does Alex bring to school? How many baseballs does he have in total? He has total of 3, so our total number is our denominator, so that goes on the bottom. How many does he bring to school? He brings 2 baseballs to school, so 2 is our numerator. The fraction of baseballs Alex brings to school is 2 out of 3, so 2/3. Number 15. Janine and Nicole each made fruit salad for a school event. Janine used 16 pieces of fruit to make her salad. If 1/4 of the fruits were peaches, how many peaches did she use? Make a drawing to show your work. Well, we know how many rows do we need? 4, right? Because there are 4 parts to our whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are 16 total. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if 1/4 of the fruits were peaches, so 1 row out of the 4 rows, 1/4, then how many peaches did she use? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 peaches. Nicole used 24 pieces of fruit. If 1/6 of them were peaches, how many peaches in all did Janine and Nicole use to make their fruit salads? Explain how you found your answer. Well, if Nicole has 24 pieces that are split between how many groups? You guessed it, 6. So we need 6 rows, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's a total of 24. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, so 1 out of 6 rows is what Nicole used. So she also had how many? 4. So we know that Janine had 4, and we know that Nicole had 4. So we know that 1/4 of 16 equals 4. 1/4, 1/6, I apologize, 1/6 of 24 equals 4. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. There were a total of 8 peaches used to make how many? Well, Nicole had a fruit salad and Janine had a fruit salad, so to make 2 fruit salads. Pause it if you need to finish writing that down. Number 16. There are 8 rows of chairs in the auditorium. 3 of the rows are empty. What fraction of the rows are empty? All right. Well, we have 8 rows total, so 8 is our what? Our denominator. We know that how many are empty? 3 of the rows are empty. So what fraction of the rows are empty? 3 out of 8 rows are empty, so 3/8. All right. Moving on to page 504, last page. Number 17. Tara ran 3 laps around her neighborhood for a total of 1 mile. Today she wants to run 2/3 of a mile. How many laps will she need to run around her neighborhood? Well, if we know 1 whole mile is cut into 3 laps, 1, 2, 3 laps, and she wants to go 2/3 of a mile, let's find 2/3 of a mile. So 1, 2/3 of a mile is how far Tara wants to go. Well, how many laps is that? We know that each part is 1 lap, so 1, 2 laps. So Tara needs to run 2 laps around her neighborhood to run 2/3 of a mile. Gary painted some shapes. Select one number from each column to show a fraction greater than 1 that names the parts Gary painted. Well, let's find out how many are in 1 whole. Our denominator is the amount that's in 1 whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 pieces in 1 whole, so that would be our denominator. Then our numerator are the total parts shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there are 3 holes that are shaded. So 8 times 3 equals, You guessed it, 24. Good job. So your numerator is 24 and your denominator is 8. Angelo rode his bike around a bike trail that was 1/4 of a mile long. He rode his bike around the trail 8 times. Angelo says he rode a total of 8/4 miles. Teresa said he's wrong and he actually rode 2 miles. Who is correct? Use words and drawings to explain how you know. Okay, so we know there are how many in our hole? There are 4. So if he went around the trail and it is 4 equal laps, we're going to divide this into 4 equal parts. Well, he said that is 1 mile, and he said that he went around 8 times. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times, we need to make another to make 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we know that he rode 1 lap, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. How many holes do we have? We have 2. So who's correct? Yeah, they both are. Both are correct. The distance around the trail is 1/4 of a mile. So if he rode around it 8 times, that is 8 times out of how many are in a hole? 4. So 8/4. I drew a circle. Divided it in fourths and shaded how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4. So that's 1 whole mile. I then drew another circle and shaded the same to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of how many's in a hole? 1, 2, 3, 4 to show 8/4. My drawing shows that 8 out of 4 is the same as how many holes? 1, 2. So he rode 2 miles.